2017, some of our sisters came here to what used to be known as Hubert's Liquor Store. As they walked in, they saw an elder black man being assaulted by a Korean security guard with a stick because of a dispute over a 5-cent bag. That led to us engaging in what became a 4-month grand closing. After the first 2 months, the initial owner, Ms. Jung, sold, but she sold to one of her Korean business partners, an individual known as Eddie. When Eddie initially came, he did attempt to put out a $2,000 bounty, I guess you would say, to have us run off by some of the folks in the community, but fortunately, community stood with us. And after another 2 months, Eddie did hire a full staff, all day, every day of black employees. He began to make several investments in the community, but it did not result in a further transfer of ownership. However, a couple years ago, there were others in the community who continued to apply pressure and eventually forced Eddie out of here. In 2018, a video was posted on social media that showed a black woman being assaulted by a Latino employee at this store that used to be known as Viva Bargain. The following day, we came, confronted the store owner, and almost immediately they agreed to both fire that employee, but also agreed to start hiring black employees. So that grand closing did not result in an actual change of ownership, but it did create black jobs in the community. In 2018, after the city of LA legalized cannabis, they had a social equity program that was to help people and communities that was affected by the war on drugs get involved in the cannabis business. However, after the first 100 social equity licenses were awarded, we found there were only 6 black businesses. And we found there were a number of Armenians, Russians, and Koreans who obtained the majority of those licenses. One of those businesses was LA Cannabis Co., who operated right here on Crenshaw. So we engaged in a 30-day grand closing to force them out and made room for the first black woman-owned cannabis dispensary just a few doors over, Gorilla RX. And even now, this business right here is the Life Development University, another black-owned business that helps other people in the community develop their nonprofits, LLCs, and other business structures. This coming Saturday, June 13th, Life Development University will be giving a presentation on the County of LA's social equity program that is about to launch. So if you are interested in getting involved, making sure you come out this Saturday, June 13th, to Life Development University. In 2019, we were contacted and told there were some Latino employees at this Popeye's Chicken who attempted to fight a black customer because of a dispute. We came the following day, and after talking to the people at this Popeyes, we walked around and found that there was also another dispute here at the Crenshaw Plaza at the Burger King, where there were other Latino employees who got into a dispute with some black customers. And as we walked a lot, we found there were about 12 businesses primarily owned by Koreans who had nothing but Latino employees making predominantly black money. So we engaged in a 30-day grand closing, and pretty much all of the businesses did begin to hire black employees. In that situation, there was no change in ownership. Unfortunately, here in LA, a lot of the work we did prior to COVID was somewhat erased because of COVID, as a lot of those businesses shut down for several months. And then when they came back, a lot of them hired Latinos instead of, hiring our people. But right now, with this resurgence in awareness to divest from these predators who come into our communities, exploit us, violate us, again, we are presented with the opportunity to shut down some of these outside interests and, again, take control of those businesses, or at the very least, force some of these outside interests to hire us and invest in our community. So, again, salute.